venues, dates, sales and media, our own performance stuff. That's going to kind of be more pertinent to our own classes. And then I just have another spot here for any other things that maybe they cover that we haven't really thought about. All I want you to do is jot down a note or two under each one of those as you learn something or as they cover one of those things. The next thing, on number 2, just write down any more need-to-knows. If we have a chance to discuss them, we can do that at the end of this little 20-minute period or so. Otherwise, we'll just have them listed so I know what they are and we can discuss them in class. Then finally, I just want you to, as we talk about these different domains, think about which ones you might be most interested in and write down your top 2 kind of areas of interest, and maybe that will be the team that you will eventually be a part of. So, I would like to just go ahead and get started. Again, gentlemen, this is very casual. Just feel free to kind of begin on a topic. If anybody has something to say on it, come on over.
Can we start with introductions? Yeah,
yes,
start with
please,
introductions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let you know I'm going to leave this
sure.
up here because these are kind of the areas that I thought would be nice to cover. There's a few extras too. Maybe I'll just hand it now.
Well, I'll start off. My name is Steve Olaf. I live right here in town. I'm a cartoonist, comic book guy. If you ever saw Armature in the local newspaper, or also do historian stuff, and I'm also a graduate of Point Arena High School a long time ago.
I'm Enzo Riggs, and I play music, play bass and guitar here, and I'm not from here, I'm from a different town, but
I'm Donnie Housen. I play music with these guys. I'm a drummer.
Derek Robbins. I've worked at various music festivals all over Northern California and Oregon for like the last 10 years. Here to tell you guys a little bit about that.
I'm Eric Dahlhoff. I used to do sound at the Arena Theater and other sort of things around here like that. So, and I'm a musician. I'll just, because I gotta split pretty soon, so I'll just tell you a little bit about sound stuff. I don't really know. Well, my understanding is you're going to try and put on some kind of event, right, with musical stuff, Coachella, something like that, small. Yeah.
So basically, how it's going to work, what we have in mind is the guitar class. They're going to have their own pieces that we've been working on in guitar, and they'll perform a few of those at the event. Band, jazz band, they have a few pieces that they've done. But we're also trying to incorporate other bands, musicians, where they're also taking on organizing that and getting that. So yeah, it's a two-pronged thing. They have their own performance aspect and then the organizational, promotional aspect of putting something like this together.
That's great. That'll be fun. You don't know where you're going to do it, is my understanding yet, right? So, I guess my bit of expertise is all having to do with sound. And that's a fun thing. I love doing sound. But it depends on what your venue is, you know, how big a sound system you need, what you're aiming at, things like that. I don't know if you're going to rent equipment or try and borrow it from people around here or contract with a sound person or what.
Or like if they do it at the theater, then the theater has a soundboard.
Right, the theater has a whole sound system there. Yeah, so you could arrange something like that.
Well, that's exactly the kind of things I want them to think about. So, see how you guys also have venue and dates. The equipment, all these things are going to relate a little bit too, right? So when it comes to the venue, if we do it at Arena Theater, that's something to consider, right? We have access to sound. If we were to do it at Walla Arts, that might be different if we do it outside or something, right?
Walla Arts has a good sound system too, indoors.
Indoors, right?
Yeah,
okay.
so definitely that's a big thing to consider. If you have to round up sound equipment, that's a big deal. I mean, there's so much stuff to bring.
And also, anytime you're doing something outdoors, it's a little bit tougher than having a controlled environment, like an indoor venue.
Yeah.
Just the wind and things sometimes come up. I've had gigs where we're trying to look at our music stand, and music's blowing all over the place, and you just
especially here.
Yeah, you can. So if you decide to do it outside, you know, you definitely have to consider the weather.
I don't really have anything more to say other than it's big.
let me just, I'd like to say one thing. One thing that's really good that you guys are doing this now, because in any event like this, it really takes a lot of planning. I've helped various times with the parade and 4th of July fireworks and getting music and stuff. And we have to start months in advance to figure it out, because there's a lot of details, and also, once you get the thing booked and everything, people have to really make a commitment to follow through, because if any one of the things goes bad, then it can wreck the whole thing, or at least make it tougher. So everybody has to make the commitment and then follow through. And then, like I said, he's got a bunch of stuff here. So, can I ask you, have any of you ever done anything like that before? Are you all just like beginning musicians, or intermediate, or what?
We're just in guitar class.
Okay.
Varying levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think that's like
And another thing that is a possibility, just to learn a little bit about it, there is the open, the third Monday music down at the theater, which is open to all ages, and it's open to any musicians that want to get up there. There's usually a band, but there's usually a crew, 1 or 2 guys will set up all of the mics and stuff, and it would be a really good thing for you to see, perhaps to go down there and observe and talk to Chris or Michael or whoever is, or Eric or whoever's doing the sound, because you can see how many mics it takes and all the cables and everything, and that would be just and that's actually happening on the 20th of this month.
You said it was on the
Third Monday, but it's only a quarterly thing, so it only happens,
Gotcha.
we got the springtime one coming up next week.
Write that somewhere on maybe the top left corner of your page.
What was it again?
Actually, that's a great resource if you ever want to learn about doing sound or lights. Contact somebody at the Arena Theater about that, and you could go down and help do that. You could actually go down and help set up stuff for shows.
Oh yeah, I've done that once down there.
There's a show this weekend. Or is it next weekend?
What's that?
There's a show coming up.
Oh, Jennifer Magnus, yeah.
Geneva.
Yeah. Yeah, they always need help. I mean, the guys who do sound and lights there generally are just doing it as volunteers, and they could always use some help.
On the 20th of this week.
Making a field trip. I guess I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I do at festivals. I usually work in the production end of the festival, and that's all the stages, all the sound, and all the lights. I'll go over a couple. I made some notes so I won't forget what to tell you guys. But so the festival PM is the production manager, and he's the guy who's like ultimately in charge of all the stages, all the lights, and all the sound. He's got to coordinate everybody, all the volunteers, and all the stagehands to make sure all the stages get built safely and properly, and all the sound and lights get up and on time. He has to order all of the rented gear, because most of the festivals I work at are really big, and bands are traveling from all over the country, so they don't carry all their own stuff. So they hire a company to bring in like everything the band's gonna need, or at least most of it. Yeah.
Are you Franny's husband?
I am.
I think I've seen you before then. I used to like working.
All right. The production manager also has to coordinate with all the bands to make sure they have like everything they need when they get there.
Doors are locked. The door's never locked.
Press on, go ahead.
So I've been a stage manager at a lot of festivals, and that's just kind of a step below the production manager. I work on one specific stage at the festival, and I make sure that, like I said, all the backline is there each day for each band that's going to be performing that day. And then basically my job's really easy. All I gotta do is be really nice and like connect the bands with anybody they need. So if they have sound questions, I'll point them to the sound guy. If they have like lighting questions, I'll connect them to the lighting guy. And if they have questions about their rented gear, there's a backline tech who I'll just connect them to that. So I'm just there on the stage to answer any questions or direct them to the people that they're going to need to be directed to.
Hey, Derek,
Yeah.
you used a term that I'm not sure they're familiar with, the backline. Can you explain that to them?
That's all the rented gear.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is okay.
And then a step below the stage manager is a stage hand, which I've done that a lot of times as well. And They show up early and build the stages. A lot of these stages are really impressive. I should have brought some photos. Like, it's like a giant transformer. It comes like on the back of a semi truck and then like unfolds into this like giant stage. It's really fun to like build them and watch them come together. And then usually we do that the first day, and then the next day we'll set up all the sound and lights, which is like an all-day thing. All the festivals we work at will have like 6, 7 stages, so we just hop from stage to stage, like building these massive sound rigs. And then another main job of the stage hand is to be there to change the bands over. So that's really kind of a tricky puzzle sometimes if you have a lot of bands performing on one stage, is because you kind of have to like set them up and then push them to the back of the stage and then set another band up in front of them so you can do a quick changeover. So like you might only have 30 to 45 minutes in between sets, so where you have to like remove one band's gear and have another band set up. So there's a lot of fun, tricky coordinating involved in all that. But it's a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys are doing this, and it should be really enjoyable for you. Any other questions?
And one,
Where would you guys like recommend us to do it?
Like you guys said, I mean the theater is a